Hi everyone, David Maley here, and today we're going to go over some special box plots. Basically, these are called violin plots, and I love to use them to show differentiation in fields. So like if I have a field that has multiple different aspects to it, so for instance I'm going to show you in this code here I have weekday, right? So weekday is Sunday through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So in weekday, it could be a 0 for a Sunday, a 1 for a Monday, a 2 for a Tuesday, and so on. And so I have in this data set, this data, by the way, is from the University of California at Irvine's data science department. They have a bunch of data sets out there that you can use. This is the bike share one that I've been using a lot lately, just to test new things and try new things and to train people on stuff for data analysis and data science. So it's a very simple and small data set. It's got 2 years worth of data, and we're going to use it here, and I'm going to show you how the violin plot works and why and how we want to use it. So if you look up here, I've got all of the code that you need for this. Everything is in here. A little bit of it might run over there a tiny bit, so let's take this and move this over a tiny bit so you can see it all. Let's see if we can see it all now. Let's move it over just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we start with installing the packages. Obviously, if you don't have them, this is RStudio, and you're obviously using R through RStudio in this, okay? This is very simple stuff. So right here, we're installing 2 packages, right? Violin plot, vioplot it's called, and readxl. Vioplot gives you these violin plots. That's the library's ability. And then the other one is it helps you to read Excel sheets, data sets, okay? Excel is what you're basically using for common delimited files and Excel worksheets, which you'll probably find that 90% of your data is going to come through that or SQL. So in data analysis and data science. Now if you look here, once I've installed those 2 packages, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them into the library, which will put it into our, you'll see when you go into packages here, they'll have a checkbox next to it if you want to see it. And I'm pulling in the library for vioplot, I'm calling that, and the readxl. And this tells exactly where it is for the readxl. Then what I've got next to it, right after that, this line right here, okay, once you've loaded in the libraries, this is my data set. It's an Excel sheet. This is the location of it on my desktop. This is how you will utilize this command, read_xlsx. It's not read.xlsx. I see a lot of people put a dot there, then they wonder why it doesn't work and doesn't pull in. The command is read_xlsx, and then you put it into a data frame. So this is a vector we're creating here. That's what R is all about, vectors. And we're taking this data set and we're putting it into test data 3. Then what I'm going to do is this one has, as I told you, 0 through 6, right? So I'm going to do 6, or actually 7 of these. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the weekdays. Now it could be something else where I have 2 or I have 3, and then I would only do 2 or 3 of these. So I'm going to do 7 of these, 0 through 6, graph 0 through graph 6. And see, this is a data frame, so I'm accessing the data frame here with a $sign and saying I want the field count. Count is the total sales. Okay. And then next to it, I'm doing it for test data 3 for the data frame for weekday. And then where the weekday equals 0 does this first one. The second one here would be if it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So whatever, it goes by what the weekday is that that sale occurred on. And then what we do down here, this row down here brings in, we call in the library, the vioplot. And then we have all these graph 0 through graph 6. See that? Graph 0 through graph 6, comma. Then we have the names. Names equals. So that's where when it looks at data, it's going to be a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, if you had different data, you have to write what it is here, what you're looking for here. Then, after that, there's a comma. After this, the parentheses. And we put the color equals. We could put color equals blue, red, green. I decide yellow because I think yellow pops the best, but it's up to you. It's whatever your personal preference is. You just got to pick the colors. If you pick something it doesn't know, like if I put silver in here, it doesn't know silver, and it'll give me an error and say it doesn't know the color silver. It's pretty easy to work with R in that aspect. Then underneath it, I'm creating a title for this graph, and it'll actually say violin plots of count per day of the week. I could say of sales per day of the week. We can do that too, so let's make it that. It doesn't matter. So now when I run this, okay, I've already loaded in this. I've already done the first couple steps. I've created a test data 3, which is over here. You can always click on it to look at your data set if you don't remember what the fields are in it, and then you can scroll through and find the fields. Here's count right at the end here, which is casual plus registered equals count. That's the way this data works. Casual is your new people, registered is your subscribers, and or return users, I guess you would say. And then you had weekday was in there too. If we want to look at that, we go back to it again, click on this, and there's weekday right there. 6 obviously would be a Saturday, 0 would be a Sunday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how it goes like that? So it tells you what day of the week that occurred and how many there was on those different days. Now, so we go back, it doesn't tell you individual sales. What it does is it gives you groupings by day. That's the way this data set is. So then we've got all that filled in. So let's just take this, now that since I've already loaded in test data 3, if you haven't done that, take the ones that run each of these, and then what you do is hit Control and Enter, just like that. Bam, there it is. So let's make it bigger, and we can make it as big as we want. And you can clearly see right here, so we've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We could go and change those in anything we want. But it tells you the sales levels and the breakout or distribution under each of these. So for instance, you can look at this and say the breakdown, the vast majority of them fall into this area, and the mean, the middle, is right here of each of these. You can see that little dot right there in the middle, and there's the breakdown of most of your data, and then there's the breakdown of all of your data. That's how this works. So you can see some days are shorter than others, as not as in length, I mean as in the sales, and it's not the total sales, it's the breakdown of the how the distribution is throughout the throughout those Sundays, for instance. This is how Sundays break down throughout both years. I could go and filter this down to one year versus another and then compare them and see if they changed over time. I could do that, but this has the distribution of each of those days, Sunday through Saturday, and I know 0 through 6 is Sunday through Saturday, and it shows me the breakdown of each day. Like so, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday has a bigger group right here in the middle, and then a lot less that breaks down here. Same with here. A lot of them tend to be right here, and that's why you're seeing this dot and this black area here. That's the vast majority of your sales. Now see how this one's a lot longer. So this one has days of as high as 6,200 maybe 6,500, and days as low as maybe 2,400. So he's got a big swing, and that would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday has a big swing, so does Saturday. Saturday has a pretty big swing, and a short one would be Tuesday, has a very small swing. So this can be very helpful in looking at different types of data and just trying to see something that differentiates. So you could look at different customer segmentation this way. You could say I've got customer groups A, B, C, D, E, whatever, and then you could see the breakdown and see, okay, is that a good measurement? They're all different, they're all the same. Here I can sit there and say, okay, well maybe based on this, and maybe adding this to another graph and saying, well, based on the Sundays here and the Sunday activity on this graph, maybe we need to do more marketing. Maybe we need a different type of marketing. Maybe we want to target people to get them to come on Tuesdays, on days, or see like this, we got some days that are lower. Maybe we want to bring those days up. It could be anything. But the cool thing with this distribution plot, it gives you a different way of looking at your data and looking inside the fields for things like this, where you have different days or different activities. I could have picked in this data set, let me show you right here. If I bring this back out here, we have a lot more to pick with than just this. I just want to show you something that had more examples than just 1 or 2 or 3 things. But for instance, it's a holiday. You'd have a 0 or 1 that's in this data set. So I would have 2 different things to look at. I could have picked week, right? Weekday, we got working day 0 or 1. We've got holiday 0 or 1. Month would be 1 through 12. We could have put the different months in here. That might have been interesting. Might have shown me how obviously there would be more sales during the summer months, or maybe the spring and fall months, because maybe the summer months get too hot. And maybe the winter months are obviously lower sales because it's too cold. So, and then we can see the different seasons, So you can see seasonality in there a little bit. We can see some, that's just this data set. But what I'm trying, the most important thing here is I want you to see the how this works. And let's go back and I want to show you the code. It's very simple to do. Once you have these installed, this one did not use ggplot or anything like that. So this uses vioplot. And here's the code exactly as you need it right here. Install the packages first, right there, vioplot, readxl, if you don't have them in already. Then pull them into the libraries. Here's your code right there for the libraries. Then take and read in. Now this is going to change obviously based on what your Excel file is or what your CSV is and where it's located. I'm using a Excel workbook right here. They are easier to work with. And that's what this one is. It came as a CSV, and all I did was I opened it up in Excel, and then I saved it back as an Excel workbook, and it works great. If it's as a CSV, this won't read it. I have to use another program or another library or some other code to read from it. But this one made it easy, so just use something like this. Put in a vector of your own name that you'll know here and understand, and then you use that same vector name, data frame, right here, in both of these, in each of these twice, okay? And that x-axis is the fields that you want to compare. Maybe I don't want to compare total sales. Maybe I just want to compare casual. So I could have put casual right in here behind this $sign. And I could have put something other than weekday. Okay, and then this, whatever you use here, it could be graph 0, it could be whatever it is. It could have been week 0, it could have been weekday 0, it could have been anything. Just make sure it matches exactly the here. See that, how that exactly matches? It has to, or else it won't access it and it won't work with the vioplot. Okay, and then the exact data that sits in there, so when you're looking at that and you saw that there was zeros and sixes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they have to show in here. So that first one has to be a 0, 0 here. See it? And then 1, 1, 2, 2, so on. Okay, they just have to line up correctly, and then it works great. And then at the end, just pick a color. I could. What if I had picked blue or green? Let's just see what it does here. Let me just show you real quickly how it just changes. Okay, all I got to do, I don't have to load in any of these anymore because I already have them loaded in once you've done this. So just up to here, hit Control and Enter, which is a nice thing you do in RStudio. And look at it, there it is in blue. It's kind of annoying. I don't really like that. Maybe I like green. So let's try green. So we could do that. We could just go and click here and click there, up to there, same thing. Boom, there it is in green. Maybe you like that. To me, it's a little bit annoying. I like the yellow one. But you could try different things. Now watch what happens if I pick a color that it doesn't know. Right? We all know what silver is, right? So if I pick silver, let's just put silver in here, right? Oops, got to get rid of that G right there. So we got silver in there, right? So let's just do this. Oh, look at the bottom here. See this? Error in the polygon. Why? It does not know silver. Okay, fine. So maybe it knows gray. Right? Gray is probably going to be boring, but let's just try it anyway. Here we go. Let's try it again. There it is. Standard gray. We could have picked black. Now that wouldn't have been very helpful because you wouldn't see this black bar in here in this line. But we could pick red. Maybe red. Maybe red would be good. Or maybe orange. Let's try red first. I think red's going to be a little bright, but let's just see. Whoa, that's really bright. Alright, so maybe let's try orange. Obviously brown would probably be bad, but let's just see if it knows orange. I don't know if it does in this or not. I haven't tried orange, but let's see. There it is. Orange is not bad. So maybe we pick orange. Orange or yellow look good to me. As long as it's something that you can see, and you can clearly see it and show it to your customers, your user base, the people putting in these requests for your data analysis and data science requests. You know, this is just, obviously this is not an end for all. This is not a complete data science or even a data analysis task. This is just a piece. This is just a distribution plot of the fields and especially of the attributes inside of a field. That's what the purpose of this violin plot is. So there's many more things you would do after this. You would get the distribution plot, maybe a correlation analysis. Maybe we would type core in here, which is another formula. We'll do that in another video, and I'll show you how that works. But it's a piece that shows you a breakdown of your data and how it works over pieces of the attributes in a field. So thanks again for watching. I hope this was helpful. All the code is right here that you need. Let me move this over a little bit again so you can see it all right here. It's all right there. Just use this as it is right there. And you can make some changes, put in your own data, and you're good to go. And play with it and see how it works for you. Thanks again for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and have a great day.